Hi, I'm Carrie and welcome to my star-shaped calendar course. Today we're going to make a star-shaped, as you can see, calendar, and using very simple materials, absolutely suitable for beginners. And the calendar consists of 12 different pages. It doesn't matter what time of the year that you start making your calendar, because there's enough calendar entry pages for you to put a full 12 months in, so that's fine. Each calendar section has got plenty of space to put birthdays and occasions in, and then you'll also find that each page has also got pockets in there, so you could put maybe receipts or tickets or little mementos like that in, and also envelopes again, maybe for photographs or little secrets that you want to put in there. So that's the calendar that we're going to make together, and it's perfect with that star shape just to stand on your desk. So let's get started. I'm going to go through the materials in the next section, which are very basic, so you don't need much at all. And let's get started and make this calendar together. Let's go over the materials and the equipment that you'll need in order to make the calendar, and it's fairly simple. So in the download section I've put in the actual calendar itself. So there's 2 downloads there. There's one for this year and one for next year. So whenever you start making your calendar, you'll always have 12 months worth of calendar. So that's the first printout. You can print these out just on plain copier paper, printer paper. That's absolutely fine. Then you'll need some cardstock. So this is quite thin card. It's 160 GSM, so quite a thin one. And you'll need 1 sheet of cardstock to print out the mini pocket and mini envelope template. And then we'll need some card to actually make the calendar with. Now that's got a few different options there. You can either use some pre-decorated cards. So this is all some cardstock that I've decorated using a monoprinting technique. So you can either do that, or you can just use scrapbook papers if you have scrapbook paper around. Or if you don't have any of that, then I've provided a download where you can print out some background papers. So for this you'll need 160 GSM card again, and then you've got 6 different background papers that you can print out. If you set your printer to print so that it prints borderless printing, that would be fantastic. If your printer can't do that, there will be a little white border around the edge, but you can just cut around that, so that'll be absolutely fine. So that download is included as well. And then you'll need a pair of scissors and some glue. Now I really love using double-sided sticky tape glue. You can get it at most craft shops and even stationery shops. If you don't have that though, then a normal stick glue is absolutely fine, or PVA glue as well. But if you're going to get into crafting, then I do recommend that you get some good double-sided sticky tape, because you'll find that you'll use it all the time. So that's the equipment that we need, so let's get started on making the calendar. Right, so we're going to start off by making the calendar itself. So you can either use the background sheets that you downloaded and that I've given you in the previous section, or you can use any scrapbook paper that you have lying around the house, or pre-decorated paper, but I'm using the background sheets that I gave you the downloads for. So we're going to start off with all the background sheets facing upwards, with the pattern facing upwards, and you're simply going to fold them in half with the pattern on the inside when you fold them in half. And as you fold, just make sure that both corners meet up with the previous corners, and then give it a really good crease. Now, to give it a really good crease, what you can do is just take the edge of your scissors as well, or the edge of the handle of your scissors, and just press along the edge there. Or of course you could just do it with the side of your nail, or you may even have a paper folder as well that you can do that with. So I'm just going to continue and fold over all 6 sheets in the same manner. And when all 6 sheets are folded, gather them all together. Now have a little look and see if you want to change the pattern around, because the order that we glue everything in is going to be the order that your calendar stands up in. So these two are fairly similar designs, so I'm going to actually move that one and put a different background in. That's nice. See which background we've got here. Yep, so I think I'll do that one first, then that one. Yeah, I might have a different colour now. That one, that one. Yeah, that looks quite nice. So that'll be the order that that's everything going in. So you arrange that how you want to arrange it. And now we want to make sure that when we've got everything stacked, that all the folded edges are lined up together and all the open edges are lined up together on the same side. So I've made sure that that's correct. All my folded edges are here. And then I'm going to lay everything down. Right, so I'm going to start with my pile of papers here. I'm going to lift the first one off, place it in front of me, and then I'm going to use my double-sided sticky tape to put a layer of glue all the way around the edges. Now, as I said in the previous section, you can use double-sided sticky tape, or you can use stick glue, or even just spread some PVA glue. That's absolutely fine, so whichever you prefer. And the tip with double-sided sticky tape is it can sometimes be quite hard to peel off. So if you just give the tape a rub with the edge back of your nail, that does help sometimes in just making the backing paper a little easier to peel off. Okay, let's give it a go. There we go. Lovely, so that's all 4 edges peeled off. And now I'm just going to take the next card and place it on top. Just give it another check just to make sure that you've got the folded edge here and the folded edge here so that they meet up. And then you want to line all 4 corners up together. So I'm lining those 2 corners up first, and then just letting the paper fall down, push along to make sure all that glue is stuck, and then push down, and now you'll see that that page and that page are stuck together. Okay, so we're going to repeat for each one of these now. So I've laid my 6th and final piece of cardstock on the top of the pile, and I'm going to repeat again by putting the double-sided sticky tape all around and taking the backing off. And now what we're going to do is take this top sheet that we just put all the sticky tape on, open out your book and take the very bottom, what was the very bottom sheet, and now that gets folded over and placed onto the sheet that you've just added the sticky to. So I'm just trying to line it up here so everything's nice and neat in those top corners, and then you can just press down And that's your calendar done. So now you've got all your different pages, and because it's all glued together, now you can stand it up and it creates this star shape. So well done, that's the first layout of your calendar done. So we'll come back next and we'll add all the various bits and pieces to the actual calendar. So that will be in the next section. Right, we're ready to fill our calendar up with lots of lovely bits and pieces. So let's start with the calendar section first. So on the printout you'll see that you've got per page 4 different months. So each one of these just wants to get cut out. Now you can leave a little border around them. So as a cutout, I'm just going to leave, there's an edge there, I'm just going to leave a little border around the edge. Of course you can take your time over it, I'm just trying to do it a bit quicker for the video here. There we go. So you can see there's a little bit of a border around the edge, so I'm going to cut out all of the different months just exactly like that. Alright, so that's all the months cut out. So I'm just going to organise them into the correct month order. And that's them all organised. So let's see, where do I want to start my calendar with? So I am actually doing January to December. But as I said in the introduction, if you're starting midway through the year, that's absolutely fine. There's enough calendar printouts in the downloads for you to do that and move on to the next year. So let's start with January. Let's have a nice bright page for January, get us in the mood. Okay, so I'm going to pop my January one on here. And then February, I think I'll put down there. Where you place your calendars pieces is absolutely up to you. There's no right or wrong about this. You just place them where you want to. And again, I'm just going to use double-sided sticky tape because that's what I like using. But if you want to use a glue stick or some PVA glue, then go ahead and do that. That's absolutely fine. So I'm going to put a little bit around the edges. And rub it down. And peel off. And then let's place it up here on this left hand page. There we go, so that's January in. So I'm going to work my way through the book doing exactly the same thing. So February's going to go there, flip it over, and then I think I'm probably just going to repeat that same pattern all the way over. So there's March and April. I'll glue those in and then continue around for the rest of the year. So let's get that done, shall we? And that's the last month of the calendar put in place. So we'll just have a quick flip through so you can see. There we go. All looking good all together. Right, so the next thing that we want to do is to put the pockets and the envelopes in. So we'll come back and do that in the next section. So to put the pockets and the envelopes in, we're going to use this template that I've given you in the download. So you print it out on some cardstock. Then we're going to cut them out. So I'm just going to cut around the thick line here. So I'll cut them both out. Okay, so that's our pocket template and that's our envelope template. Let me move the calendar out of the way for the moment. So, gather yourself together some nice pattern bits of paper. Now you can use all kinds of different things for this. You can use wrapping paper, you could use old books, you could use old magazines, old bits of junk mail, so whatever you have just lying about the house, that would be absolutely fine. So I'm going to use this little bit of wrapping paper here. It was a bit of offcut. So I'm going to start off with a pocket first of all. And I'm just going to trace around the outside edge of my pocket template. Okay, so that's the pocket one done, and then I can do exactly the same with the envelope template. So I'll have a matching pair. Let's place it here and go around the edge of that. Okay, and then it's just a matter of cutting these out. That's my two templates cut out. So you can see on the originals that it gives you little dotted lines of where to actually fold. It'll tell you cut along the solid line, fold along the dotted lines. So let's start with the envelope first, which is this one. This is the top flap of the envelope, so that's there. And we're going to fold over in between these two edge corners, so right here. Okay, so that's one fold. The next fold is going to be this one, which is in between here and here. And then we repeat that on the other side. And then the final fold is corner to corner here. Again, just use the edge of your nail to make those creases really nice and sharp. So we're going to open it up and we're going to just add some glue. And the glue is just going to go down the edges of the bottom flap here. So you don't need loads, just a little bit down that edge. And a little bit down this edge. And peel up, and then you can just stick that down and over. So your envelope's all stuck together. So that's great, and of course you can use these for little envelopes for gifts or just even to send a nice little note through the post in, so that's a nice idea. And then for the pocket, here's the template for that one, so you can just see that the dotted lines are where you need to fold along the dotted line here, so we'll just fold from corner to corner here, fold that up. Again, just use the back of your fingernail to crease. Then you want to just work from this corner and crease, and then from this corner. Now for this one we're just going to add some glue along the base. And the two edges, but we don't want to take the tape off just yet because that's actually going to go directly, get glued directly into the calendar. So let's just put some glue along the edges. Okay, and now we'll get our calendar. So which pattern do I want this one to go with? Yeah, I like the contrast of the green and the red there, so let's pop this one here. So I'm going to put my pocket in first. So I'm just going to peel off the bottom one first, and those edges may just stick to it, that's absolutely fine. Fold those over, and then I'll peel off the two side pieces. And now as a pocket, that's all ready to stick in. So let's try and get it straight as we can. There we go, ease down. Lovely, and there's the first pocket in, so you can just pop tickets or receipts, any souvenirs, photographs in there. That would be great. And then the envelope is actually going to go, so we're going to put the sticky on what would be normally the front of the envelope, because we want the flap to open and be able to get into it here. So let's turn it over, put our sticky tape on. You can go around all four edges, but I think just for speed I'm just going to do the top and bottom here. There we go. Now again, you can place it in at an angle if you want, but I'm going to put it in straight. There we go, and there's the envelope. So again, pop anything you like in there. You can even seal it up with a little bit of sticky tape later on if you want to. So we're going to need 12. If you want to put pockets and envelopes on every page, you're going to need maybe 6 of one, 6 of the other, or you can do all envelopes, all pockets, or a mix, but in total you're going to need 12 to fill up all the gaps. So I'm going to continue with that, and then we'll have a look at the final calendar together. And so there we are, that's our calendar finished. So I really hope that you've enjoyed making your calendar along with me, and I'd love to hear your comments, so please just get in touch and let me know how you got on, and I'd love to see some photographs of what you make as well, so please do send those in as well. So thanks very much for joining me, and I hope to see you on another course soon. Thanks, bye.